Have you ever stopped for a moment, taken a deep breath, and noticed how crowded your own mind feels? Not with noise from the outside world, but with the endless echoes of other people's voices, the things they said, the things they didn't, the gestures you keep replaying, the silences you keep trying to decode. If you look closely, you might realize something quietly unsettling. A large part of your inner space no longer belongs to you. It is filled with the weight of others, people you love, people you miss, people you resent, people who never even knew how much room they occupy inside your thoughts. You wake up in the morning, and before your eyes fully open, the mind is already busy talking to someone who isn't there. It revisits conversations, rewrites endings, searches for explanations. It becomes a theater where the same scene plays on repeat, and you, without noticing, have become both the actor and the captive audience. In Buddhism, there is a simple but piercing truth. Suffering does not come from others, it comes from the way we think about them. It is not what was said or done that disturbs your peace, but the invisible thread of attachment that binds you to those memories. Imagine your mind as a still lake. Every time you think of someone with longing, anger, or regret, you throw a pebble into that lake. The ripples distort the reflection, and soon you can no longer see yourself clearly. That is why the Buddha often said that freedom is not found in running away from people, but in understanding your own mind. We all carry this illusion that if we think long enough, if we analyze every word, we'll finally find peace. But peace never comes through thinking, it comes through seeing. Seeing that thoughts are not reality, that the people in your head are shadows, not beings. Today, we'll explore this forgotten art of mental freedom, the ability to stop feeding the noise, to release those who live rent-free in your mind, and to return gently to yourself. Because only when your mind becomes spacious again can your heart finally rest. Only when you stop being haunted by others can you begin to meet yourself. So take one slow breath in, and as you exhale, imagine a little more space opening inside you, a space untouched, quiet, and entirely your own. The cost of overthinking. There is a subtle kind of exhaustion that doesn't come from work or movement, but from thought itself. You know the feeling. The head that never stops spinning, the heart that keeps replaying the same story, the endless inner monologue that argues with ghosts. It's as if your mind has become a wheel that keeps turning on its own, and the more it turns, the heavier it feels. In the Buddhist view, this is one of the quietest forms of suffering. It is not the pain of what happens to us, but the pain of what we keep repeating inside. Every thought, every imagined conversation, every what if becomes another thread in the net that binds us. Imagine walking down a path with a backpack on your shoulders. At first, it feels light, but every time you think about someone, what they said, what they might be thinking, how they see you, you put a stone inside that bag. A doubt, another stone. A memory you can't let go of, another stone. An argument you rehearse again and again, another stone. Hours, days, years pass, and suddenly you wonder why you feel so tired, why the world feels so heavy. It is not life that's heavy, it's the stones you keep carrying in your mind. Buddhism calls this dukkha, the unsatisfactory nature of clinging. The Buddha didn't say life itself is suffering. He said that suffering arises when we grasp at what changes, when we refuse to release what is already gone. Overthinking is simply clinging in disguise. We tell ourselves that thinking more will solve the problem, that if we keep turning it over, we'll finally find peace. But peace doesn't come from solving it, comes from seeing clearly. The mind that overthinks is not trying to understand, it's trying to control. It's trying to force certainty in a world that is fluid, impermanent, and beyond our command. The Buddha once compared the mind to a monkey, jumping from branch to branch, never resting, always reaching for something else. That restless movement is what we call me. We don't realize that behind the movement, there is already stillness. Behind the storm of thought, there is always a sky that does not move. To understand this is to begin the path of wisdom. You start to notice how every unnecessary thought drains your energy, how it clouds your perception, how it turns simple moments into struggle. You begin to sense that your suffering isn't in the world outside, it's in the commentary you add to it. Think of a cup of clear water. Drop a handful of dirt in it, and the water turns cloudy. But if you stop stirring, the dirt settles on its own. The clarity was never lost, it was only disturbed. Your mind works the same way. You don't have to fix it, you just have to stop shaking it. When you learn to let thoughts settle, you discover a new kind of strength, not the strength to think more, but the strength to stop feeding what makes you weak. In this way, the practice of mindfulness is not a rejection of thought, but a rebalancing. You begin to see thoughts as movements, not as truth. They arise, stay for a moment, and dissolve like ripples in a pond. You don't need to chase them, believe them, or fight them. Just notice how they come and how they go. If you can see your thoughts without becoming them, you've already taken the first step out of suffering. This is why the Buddha called awareness the path of release. So next time you find yourself thinking too much about someone, pause. Feel the weight on your shoulders. Take one slow breath and imagine yourself removing a single stone from that invisible bag. You don't have to empty it all at once. One stone, one breath, one thought at a time. The journey to peace does not begin when everything outside is quiet. It begins when you finally decide to stop carrying what is no longer yours. The wisdom of letting go. The two monks and the woman at the river. There is an old Zen story that has traveled through centuries, whispered in monasteries and retold on quiet nights under temple lamps. Two monks were walking together through the forest on their way back to the monastery. The path led them to a wide river, where the current ran strong after days of rain. Standing at the bank was a woman, unable to cross. She looked anxious, glancing from the water to the monks, unsure if she could ask for help. Without hesitation, the older monk lifted her in his arms and carried her through the rushing water. He set her down gently on the other side. She bowed deeply, thanked him, and went on her way. The two monks continued their journey in silence. Hours passed before the younger monk finally spoke, his face troubled. "Brother," he said, "you know our vows. We are not supposed to touch women. How could you carry her like that?" The elder monk smiled. "I put her down hours ago," he replied softly. "Why are you still carrying her?" The younger monk's silence after that answer was not from shame, but from awakening. In that instant, he saw how the mind can hold what the hands have already released. This is the wisdom of letting go. The story is not about monks or vows, it's about you and me. We all carry people and moments long after they've left. We carry arguments that ended years ago, words that were never meant to wound but still echo within us, choices we can't undo, and faces we can't forget. Like the young monk, we walk miles with invisible weights. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean indifference. It means releasing the mental grip that keeps the past alive inside the present. It means remembering without suffering. In Buddhism, this is the essence of non-attachment, to be in the world, to act with compassion and awareness, but not to let anything, not even goodness, turn into a chain. To hold a moment with care, and when it's time, to open your hand and let it flow back into the stream of impermanence. Because the truth is simple. Everything changes. The river flows, the seasons turn, people appear and disappear in our lives like travelers crossing a bridge. Trying to hold them forever is like trying to grasp water. It only escapes faster between your fingers. The elder monk walked freely because his heart was light. The younger monk suffered because his mind would not stop clinging to a form, to an idea, to a rule. He forgot that the purpose of the vow was not restriction, it was liberation. When we cling to judgment, we lose the essence of wisdom. When we cling to memory, we lose the freshness of the present. When we cling to others, we lose ourselves. So the question becomes, who are you still carrying in your mind? Whose voice still lives in your head, long after the moment has passed? As long as you keep holding them, the river of life cannot carry you forward. The Buddha once said, "Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You are the one who gets burned." Letting go is not weakness. It is strength in its purest form. It is choosing freedom over attachment, clarity over confusion, peace over pride. And sometimes it begins with a simple whisper to yourself, "I carried this long enough. Now I put it down." The mind's trap, when thinking becomes a prison. The mind has a strange habit. It creates its own cage and then forgets that the door was never locked. We believe we are thinking our way toward freedom, but most of the time we are simply decorating the walls of our prison. Have you noticed how, when something unsettles you, the mind doesn't let it go? It keeps circling back, asking, analyzing, replaying. It whispers, "If I think about this enough, I'll understand. If I understand, I'll be free." But the opposite happens. The more we think, the tighter the cage becomes. In Buddhism, this is known as vikepa, the restless scattering of the mind, a turbulence born from desire and aversion. When we want something badly, our thoughts cling to it. When we dislike something, our thoughts fight against it. In both cases, we are trapped by the same illusion that peace will come from control. But the Buddha taught that control is an illusion. Nothing in the external world can ever be fully held or managed. What we can transform is the way we relate to it. Imagine trying to calm the ocean by smoothing the waves with your hands. That's what we do when we try to control every thought, every outcome, every person. We confuse thinking with wisdom, and in that confusion, the mind becomes louder, not quieter. Overthinking is the mind's way of resisting reality. It's like trying to rewrite the past or predict the future tasks the mind loves, but that always ends in exhaustion. The Buddha called this cycle papanka, conceptual proliferation. The moment one thought arises, another chases it, then another. Before we know it, we're lost in a forest of ideas that have nothing to do with what's real. If you've ever lain awake at night, replaying a conversation, imagining what you should have said, what they might be thinking, you know this forest well. It has no exit because the exit was never inside it. The only way out is to stop walking deeper into it. Two forces fuel this trap: attachment and aversion. Attachment makes us cling to those who please us. Aversion makes us cling to those who hurt us. Both are forms of holding on. Both hand over our peace to someone else. When you think endlessly about a person, whether with longing or resentment, you are, in a sense, worshipping them. You've placed them at the center of your mental universe, giving them your energy, your time, your attention, the most sacred offerings of your life. And often, the other person has no idea. They go on with their day while you sit inside the temple of thought you built around them. The Buddha once compared such mental entanglement to being caught in a net of your own weaving. Every strand is a thought, and every attempt to escape by struggling only tightens the knots. The only path to freedom is stillness, seeing the net for what it is, and ceasing to fight. Dependent origination, paticca samuppada, teaches that every feeling, every reaction, arises from causes and conditions. The person you can't stop thinking about, the story you can't stop revisiting, they are conditions, not chains. The suffering arises when the mind says, "This is mine, this defines me, this must be resolved." But there is no mine in the flow of causes and effects, only experiences passing through consciousness. When you begin to see this, a small gap opens between the thought and the thinker. In that space, there is relief. You realize that your mind can create stories without your permission, and that you don't have to believe every one of them. The prison was never built by others. It was built by your identification with your own thinking. Freedom doesn't mean you stop having thoughts. It means thoughts no longer have you. So the next time your mind traps you in endless replay, ask yourself, is this thought helping me see truth, or is it another bar in the cage? When you stop believing that every thought deserves attention, silence begins to emerge like sunlight through broken clouds. And in that silence, you remember something simple, something powerful. The door was never locked. The mind creates its own tigers. There was once a man who came to a Zen master, his face pale, his eyes haunted. "Master," he said, "every night I dream that a tiger is chasing me. I run and run, but it never stops. When I wake, I'm drenched in sweat, too tired to move. How can I make the tiger go away?" The master looked at him with a faint smile. "You don't need to run faster," he said. "You only need to wake up." This is the nature of the restless mind. It creates tigers, fears, desires, and anxieties, and then convinces us that they are real. We spend our days running from what only exists in our imagination. The claws that scratch us are made of thought. The roar we hear is our own echo. Buddhism teaches that the mind precedes all things. All experiences are led by mind, shaped by mind, made by mind, says the Dhammapada. If your thoughts are tangled, your world becomes tangled. If your thoughts are peaceful, your world becomes clear. The mind is a powerful artist. With a single thought, it can paint a heaven or a hell. It can turn a passing look into rejection, a moment of silence into abandonment, a memory into a lifelong wound. And the tragedy is, we mistake the painting for reality. When we think of someone too much, what they think of us, what they did or didn't do, we feed the tiger. Each thought is a morsel of attention, and the more we feed it, the stronger it grows. Until one day, the tiger becomes our constant companion. It follows us into work, into meals, into our sleep. Not because it exists, but because we keep imagining it does. The Buddha compared this illusion to a mirage in the desert. From afar, it looks like water. You chase it desperately, your thirst grows, your hope rises and falls, but when you reach it, there is nothing there. The thirst was real, but the water never was. So it is with the fears and stories the mind invents. We chase what we believe will complete us, or flee what we think will destroy us, and yet both are phantoms born from misunderstanding. To wake up, as the Zen master said, is to see through the illusion, not to destroy it. You don't have to fight the tiger, you simply stop running. You turn around, meet its eyes, and realize it has no teeth. It was made of thought all along. This awakening is not dramatic. It is quiet, like fog lifting from a mountain. You start to see things as they are, not as your fears have drawn them. You see that pain comes not from what is, but from the stories the mind tells about what is. You see that peace is not something to achieve, it's what remains when the stories fall silent. And you begin to understand that thoughts, like clouds, will always move across the sky. You cannot stop them from forming, but you can remember, the sky itself is never touched by the storm. So, when the next tiger appears in your dream, you don't need to run. You can smile, take one breath, and remind yourself, there is no tiger, there is only mind. And in that simple recognition, the chase ends. The art of detachment, desapego. There is a quiet misconception about detachment that keeps many people from ever tasting its sweetness. They think detachment means not caring, not loving, not feeling. They imagine a cold, distant person who builds walls to avoid pain. But in truth, Buddhist detachment upekkha is not the absence of love. It is love without fear, without control, without possession. To detach is not to withdraw from life. It is to move through life with open hands instead of clenched fists. It is the difference between holding a flower gently and trying to trap it so it never wilts. Imagine this. You find a butterfly resting on your palm. Its wings are delicate, trembling in the light. The moment you try to close your hand around it, even out of affection, it is crushed. But if you simply hold your palm open, it stays for a while. And when it leaves, you still have the beauty of that moment in your heart. This is detachment, not to stop loving, but to stop imprisoning love. Buddhism calls this practice non-grasping. It is rooted in the understanding of impermanence, anicca. Everything changes, everyone moves, every moment passes. To resist this truth is to suffer. To flow with it is to be free. We suffer not because people come and go, but because we want them to stay exactly as we imagine them. We suffer not because things end, but because we believed they never should. The more we cling, the more fragile our peace becomes, because it depends on what can never be guaranteed. True detachment is not apathy. It is deep intimacy with reality. It allows you to see things as they are, not as you want them to be. It allows you to love more fully, because you no longer demand that love obey your terms. There's a Zen story of a monk who owned a simple wooden bowl, his only possession. One day, the bowl slipped from his hands and broke. He wept for hours. Another monk, passing by, asked, "Why are you crying over a bowl?" The monk answered, "I am not crying for the bowl. I cry because I see that everything I love will one day break, fade, or go." The elder monk smiled and said, "Then you have begun to understand freedom. When you accept that loss is woven into love, you can finally cherish what you have while it's here." To accept impermanence is to taste the beauty of each moment without trying to freeze it. When you know that the flower will fade, you smell it more deeply. When you know that a conversation may be the last, you listen more carefully. When you know that life is fragile, you live it tenderly. This understanding transforms relationships. Instead of trying to keep someone beside you forever, you become grateful for the time your paths align. Instead of fearing change, you bow to it as the natural rhythm of existence. You no longer see people as possessions, but as travelers, souls that walk with you for a while, teaching you something, sharing something, and then continuing on their way. The Buddha once said, "You can only lose what you cling to." When you hold people lightly, you stop losing them because you stop defining yourself through them. There is immense courage in letting things flow as they are meant to. It requires trust. Trust in the Dharma, in the unfolding of life, in the wisdom of impermanence. To let go is not to give up. It is to give in to the natural movement of all things returning to change. You may ask, But how do I love without attachment? The answer lies in shifting your focus from owning to offering. Instead of saying, "I love you because you make me feel good," say, "I love you because through you I learn what it means to open." Instead of, "I need you to stay," say, "I thank you for walking beside me while our paths meet." Detachment makes love more pure because it is no longer poisoned by fear. You no longer cling to what might leave, and you no longer resent what already has. You love for love's sake, not for comfort, not for control, but for awakening. To live with detachment is to stand in the middle of life's flow without drowning in it. You see joy and sorrow come and go, success and failure rise and fall, and through it all you remain anchored in awareness. The heart still feels, but it no longer breaks in the same way. It bends, it breathes, it releases. So, the next time you find yourself clutching at someone's memory or replaying a story of what might have been, place your hand on your heart and whisper, "I set you free." Not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. And when you release that grip, you'll feel something miraculous. The mind grows lighter, the chest expands, and the river of life begins to move again. You realize that detachment isn't the end of love. It's the beginning of freedom. Mindfulness, the door back to the present. If detachment is the art of releasing, mindfulness is the art of returning. It is how we come home again and again to the only place where peace can ever be found, this moment. The Buddha called mindfulness sati, the steady awareness that observes without clinging, without judgment, without trying to change what is. It is the calm watcher within you, the one who sees thoughts rise and fall like waves upon the surface of the ocean, but knows that the depths remain still. We spend much of our lives somewhere else. Our bodies are in one place, but our minds wander to the past, where we replay and regret, or to the future, where we anticipate and fear. We are rarely here, and so we live half awake, moving through days that feel full but leave us empty. Mindfulness is not something to add to your life. It is what remains when you stop being lost in thought. It is the quiet recognition. I am breathing. The air enters, the air leaves. The world moves, and I am part of that movement. A Zen master once said, "When I drink tea, I only drink tea." It sounds simple, almost childish, yet it contains a lifetime of practice. How often do you drink tea while thinking of someone who hasn't called, or walk down the street while rewriting an old conversation? The suffering is not in the action, it is in the absence of presence. To practice mindfulness is to make friends with this breath, this step, this heartbeat. You don't need incense or silence. You only need sincerity. Notice the contact of your feet with the ground, the sounds around you, the rhythm of your inhale and exhale. Don't try to fix anything. Just notice. At first, your mind will resist. It will jump like a restless monkey, leaping from branch to branch, thought to thought. Do not fight it. Do not chase it. Simply smile and wait. Even a wild animal, when not chased, will grow calm on its own. Slowly, the space between thoughts begins to widen. You start to see that you are not your thoughts. You are the sky behind them. The clouds move, sometimes dark, sometimes bright, but the sky itself is untouched. This is the power of mindfulness. It breaks the spell of identification. You no longer say, "I am sad." You say, "Sadness is visiting me." You no longer say, "I am anxious." You say, "Anxiety is passing through." And suddenly, what once seemed unbearable becomes simply weather, something that comes, stays, and goes. Through mindfulness, even pain becomes softer because you are no longer resisting it. You breathe with it, you make space for it, and in that space, wisdom appears. When you are mindful, nothing needs to change for you to be at peace. The world doesn't have to be perfect. People don't have to behave. Only one thing is needed: to be awake where you are. So, right now, wherever you sit, take one conscious breath. Feel it enter, feel it leave. That is mindfulness in its purest form. No ritual, no effort, just presence. And if you can do that, even for a few seconds, you have already stepped through the door that leads back to yourself. Applying the teaching in daily life. Understanding these teachings is one thing, living them is another. The real challenge begins not on the meditation cushion, but in the noise of daily life amidst traffic, deadlines, family, and the endless hum of modern existence. The Buddha's path was never meant for monks alone. It was built for the human heart, beating in every circumstance. So how do we bring this wisdom into the moments that test us most? How do we stop thinking too much, release what hurts, and return to the present again and again? The first step is awareness. Before you can change your relationship with thought, you must first see it clearly. Awareness is like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, you realize how crowded the space is, memories piled high, expectations hanging from the walls, conversations echoing like ghosts. Don't judge what you find, just see it. The act of seeing itself is the beginning of freedom. Each time you catch your mind drifting into overthinking, say quietly to yourself, "Ah, I see you." And that small acknowledgement pulls you out of the story and into the present moment. The second step is the breath. It sounds almost too simple, yet it is the anchor of every awakened mind. When thoughts swirl like a storm, return to the rhythm that never leaves you, the gentle tide of inhale and exhale. You don't have to change it or control it. Just follow it, the way a child follows a kite in the sky. The breath reminds you that life is happening here, not in the past or future. It brings you back to the body, to now. The third step is compassionate release. When you notice yourself caught in a loop of thought about a person, an argument, a wound, do not scold yourself for it. The mind is doing what it was trained to do: protect, predict, analyze. Instead of fighting it, smile softly and whisper, "It's okay. I choose not to stay here." Then imagine the thought as a leaf floating down a stream. Watch it drift away, carried by the current of time. You don't need to chase it or push it away. Just let it pass. Every time you do this, you weaken the old habit of clinging and strengthen the new habit of letting go. The fourth step is silence. We live in a world that fears stillness. Every quiet moment is filled with screens, conversations, noise. But silence is not emptiness, it's medicine. Give your mind small pockets of quiet each day. 10 minutes without a phone, without music, without distraction. You can sit by a window, listen to birds, or simply breathe. These moments are like taking your mind on retreat, even in the middle of your home. In silence, thoughts settle, clarity returns, and the heart remembers its natural rhythm. The fifth step is gratitude. Overthinking thrives in the soil of dissatisfaction. It feeds on what's missing, what's broken, what's gone wrong. Gratitude shifts the lens. It turns your gaze toward what is already whole. Every morning, before the day unfolds, name 3 simple things. You are grateful for the warmth of sunlight, the breath in your chest, the presence of someone you love. Gratitude doesn't erase pain, but it keeps your heart open in the midst of it. When the heart opens, peace can enter. These steps are not meant to be followed in perfect sequence. They are a rhythm, a gentle dance between awareness, breath, compassion, stillness, and appreciation. Each one lightens the invisible backpack you've carried for years. At first, it may seem small, almost trivial. But every breath of awareness is a pebble removed from your load. Every moment of silence is a knot untied. Every act of gratitude is a window opened in a room that had grown dark. And one day, without realizing when it happened, you'll notice something different. You'll find yourself thinking less about others and feeling more at home within yourself. The mind that once chased, clung, and worried will begin to rest like a river that finally stops fighting the current and learns to flow. This is how the teachings become real, not as lofty ideals, but as quiet choices made over and over in the middle of everyday life. Freedom does not arrive all at once. It unfolds with every conscious breath, every gentle release, every moment you remember that peace was never somewhere else. It was simply waiting for you to return. Inner peace, not a destination, but a practice. We often imagine peace as a faraway place, something we must reach after years of struggle, a mountain peak we climb to escape the noise of life. But the Buddha taught otherwise. Peace is not the summit of the path. It is the path. It's not something you find once and keep forever. It's something you practice moment by moment, like breathing. Real peace is not a permanent state of bliss. It's the ability to remain steady amid change, to stay soft even when the world hardens. It's knowing that storms will come, and yet the sky behind them never disappears. In the Dhammapada, the Buddha said, "There is no path to peace. Peace is the path." That simple sentence holds the whole of Buddhist practice. You don't arrive at peace by escaping chaos. You arrive there by walking calmly through it. Peace begins the moment you stop demanding that life be different. It begins when you stop arguing with what is when you meet this breath, this person, this situation, and say quietly, "Yes, this too." The world will never stop moving. People will still disappoint. The body will still age. Plans will still change. But peace is not the absence of movement. It is the still point within it. It is the calm awareness that watches everything rise and fall without losing its balance. Think of a candle in a dark room. The flame flickers with every breeze, but it never forgets its light. That is the peace of a mindful heart. This practice doesn't ask you to suppress emotion or deny pain. It asks you to meet them with compassion, to see that every feeling, joy, sorrow, anger, fear, is a wave rising and falling on the same ocean. You are not the wave, you are the ocean. The Noble Eightfold Path calls this right mindfulness, right thought, and right concentration, a way of aligning the mind with reality rather than fantasy. It is not about perfection, but about presence. The Buddha did not promise a world without suffering. He offered a way to understand it so deeply that it no longer owns you. No one else can give you peace. Not the person you miss. Not the one who hurt you. Not the future you keep waiting for. Because any peace that depends on something outside, you will always vanish when that thing changes and everything changes. True peace is born the moment you realize that your well-being is your responsibility, the moment you stop asking life to be different and start asking, how can I be at peace with life as it is? This is the practice, not a one-time revelation, but a continuous remembering. You'll forget. You'll be pulled back into thought, into worry, into longing. And then one day, without fanfare, you'll remember again. You'll take a breath and return. That return is enlightenment in its simplest form. So let peace be a verb, not a noun. Let it be something you do in the way you listen, the way you breathe, the way you choose gentleness when irritation rises. If you can take even one breath without resistance, if you can meet one difficult moment with presence instead of judgment, peace has already entered your life. It doesn't live in the future. It lives here in the next inhale, the next exhale, the next quiet smile you offer to the world. Guided closing meditation, releasing the mind. Before we close, let us turn from understanding to experience. You don't need to sit in any special way. Just allow your body to rest where it is. Let the spine soften, the shoulders drop, the jaw unclench. If your eyes wish to close, let them. Take a slow, steady breath in and a slow, gentle breath out. Feel the breath enter through the nose, travel down into the chest, expand the belly, then feel it leave quietly, effortlessly like a tide returning to the sea. Now, bring to mind a person or a thought that has lingered within you lately, something you keep revisiting, a memory that tugs at your heart. Don't push it away, just let it appear naturally, like a cloud drifting into view. See it clearly. And now, as you breathe in, say silently, "I see you." As you breathe out, say, "I release you." Inhale, acknowledge what is present. Exhale, let it go, without force, without rejection. If the thought returns, that's all right. Each time, meet it again with kindness. "I see you. I release you." You're not fighting the mind, you're befriending it. You're showing it a gentler way to rest. Now, shift your attention to the breath itself. Notice how it comes and goes on its own, without effort. You don't have to breathe, life is breathing you. Let that realization soften you from within. Imagine your thoughts as leaves floating on a river. Some are bright, some are heavy, but all are carried by the same current. Watch them drift away one by one, slower, lighter, quieter. In this stillness, notice what remains. A quiet awareness that simply is, untroubled, untouched, limitless. This is your true nature, spacious like the sky, still like the mountain, gentle like the breeze. No thought can stain it, no memory can confine it. Take one last deep breath. As you exhale, whisper softly within, "May I be free, may my mind rest, may all beings be at peace." When you open your eyes again, know this: you never lost your peace. You only needed to stop chasing your thoughts long enough to remember where it was.